Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Today we're going to recap college basketball, NBA, soccer, golf. We'll do a pick for the NASCAR Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. We'll talk about the Pro Bowl, NHL All-Star Weekend, the Grammys, news and notes, and best bets. So big show today. We'll start college basketball. We'll recap the results from yesterday, and we'll look ahead to tonight and the weekend. All right. We have Green Bay over IUPUI 79-56. Binghamton over NJIT 75-66. UMass over Maine 76-62. SMU over Tulane 80-76. High Point over Longhorn 93-76. Hofstra over Stony Brook 72-71. Townsend over Northeastern 83-76. UNC Wilmington over Charleston 80-74. NCAT over Hampton 59-58. Monmouth over Drexel 67-62. Delaware over William & Mary 81-53. Campbell over Elon 69-67. Fairleigh Dickinson over LIU 82-75. Wagner over Lemoyne 80-57. Sacramento over Stonehill 77-72. Central Con over St. Frank PA 63-62. Oakland over Robert Morris 87-72. Milwaukee over Purdue Fort Wayne 68-65. Cleveland State over Detroit 77-65. Old Dominion over Marshall 83-76. Troy over Georgia Southern 84-63. JMU over Coastal Carolina 105-67. App State over Georgia State 81-71. Bryan over UMBC 99-95. Vermont over Albany 81-59. La Tech over FIU 93-53. Bellarmine over Kennesaw State 96-95 in OT. Stephen F. Foster over Utah Valley 77-72. Morgan State over Tennessee State 68-49. Texas State over South Alabama 74-66. Omaha over St. Thomas 69-65. North Dakota over South Dakota 95-81. North Dakota State over South Dakota State 74-73 in OT. UMKC over Denver 85-71. Queens over Eastern Kentucky 94-76. Tarleton State over App Christian 76-73 in OT. Weber State over Northern Arizona 72-70. Northern Colorado over Idaho State 91-86 in double overtime. Nebraska upsets number 6 Wisconsin 80-72 in OT. Number 11 Arizona beats Cal 91-65. Southern Indiana over 10 Tech 74-71. SIU Everett over Little Rock 68-66. Western Illinois over Lindenwood 79-71. Tennessee Martin over Eastern Illinois 76-59. Florida Gulf Coast over Central Arkansas 82-59. Texas Arlington over Southern Utah 76-68. North Alabama over Stetson 79-72. Stanford over Arizona State 71-62. Youngstown State over Wright State 88-77. Utah Tech over Texas Rio Grande 81-64. Grand Canyon over Seattle 95-88 in OT. Sam Houston over WKU 79-77. New Mexico State over Liberty 79-73. UTEP over Jacksonville State 79-71. Montana over Idaho 73-70. Montana State over Eastern Washington 70-60. Portland over Pacific 65-60. UC Irvine over Cal Poly 73-59. Bakersfield over Long Beach State 82-76 in OT. UCSD over CSU Northridge 83-62. Hawaii over Fullerton 76-68. Oregon over USC 78-69. UCLA over Oregon State 71-63. San Francisco over San Diego 95-79. And UC Davis over Santa Barbara 79-69. All right, 6:30, CBS Sports Network. Kent State, Buffalo. My line is Kent 5.1. And it is let's see, 8.5, 147. I'll take Buffalo in the points. By the way, I didn't do totals for either this or the NBA, so I'm sorry about that. 7 o'clock, ESPN 2, Bonaventure, number 21, Dayton, Maryland State, and 7.3. Is 7.5, 134.5 over. Fox Sports 1, Ohio State, Iowa. My line's Iowa 2.8. Is 5.5 and 157.5. I'll take Ohio State in the points. Cornell, Dartmouth. My line's Cornell 3.6. It's 11.5, 152.5. I'll take Dartmouth in the points. Siena Rider. My line is Rider 8.3, and it's 10.5 and 136.5. I'll take Siena in the points. Quinnipiac, Manhattan. My line is Quinnipiac 6.5. I'll lay the points. Niagara, St. Peter's. My line is St. Peter's 5.3, and it's 3.5 and 132.5. I'll take the over. Mount St. Mary's Marist. My line is Marist 0.3, and it is 2.5 and 129.5. I'll take Mount St. Mary's in the points. Fairfield Iona. My line's Iona 1 3/4, and it is 4.5 and 155.5. I'll take Fairfield in the points. Princeton Yale on ESPNU. My line is Yale 2.7, and Yale's favored by 3.5. Total is 104.5. I like the over. Columbia Harvard. My line's Harvard 3.7, and it's 6.5, 159. I'll take Columbia in the points. Penn Brown. My line's Brown 1.7. It's 1.5, 138.5. I'll take the over. Butler number 13. Creighton 9 o'clock. Fox Sports 1. My line's Creighton 8.3. It's 10.5 and 147.5. I'll take Butler in the points. 9 o'clock ESPN2. Toledo Akron. My line's Akron 5.7. And it's 4.5, 148.5. I'll take the over. Last but not least, San Jose State, Nevada, Fox Sports 1, 11 o'clock, men's Nevada, 9.5. It's 11.5, 142.5. I take San Jose State in the points. Saturday's notables. 12 o'clock on Fox. Number 1, UConn St. John's from the Garden. So the Garden with 2 monster games on Saturday. Oh, my. On ESPN, Vatech, Miami. Fox Sports 1, Penn State, Indiana. CBS Sports Network, Navy, Colgate. ESPN2, Arkansas, LSU. George Mason, UMass. ESPNU, St. Joe's, LaSalle. USA, 12:30, Duquesne, Rhode Island. 1 o'clock on CBS. Wichita State, Memphis. SEC Network, South Carolina, Georgia. So the Legacy Classic, Grambling and Jackson State for Prudential Center. 2 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, number 9 Marquette, Georgetown. ESPN 2, Texas number 25 TCU. ESPN, Virginia, Clemson. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. ESPNU, East Carolina, Charlotte. CBS Sports Network, Murray State, Northern Iowa. Big Ten Network, Northwestern, Minnesota. 2:30 USA, Fordham, St. Louis. 3 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Cal, Arizona State. Rice, UTSA. 3:30 Fox, number 17 Utah State, San Diego State. SEC Network, Missouri, Vandy. 4 o'clock ESPN, number 4 Houston, number 8 Kansas. Wow. Number 23 Oklahoma, UCF. Legacy Classic, Hampton Howard from Prudential Center. CBS Sports Network, Elon, NCAT. Big Ten Network, Rutgers, Michigan. ESPN2, Florida and A&M. ESPNU, Richmond, VCU. Air Force, Boise. Old Dom, James Madison. 5 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Colorado, Utah. 5:30 on CW, Georgia Tech, NC State. On Fox, Maryland, Michigan State. 6 o'clock, Cincy, number 15, Texas Tech. SEC Network, number 16, Auburn, Ole Miss. Tulsa, number 20, FAU. Number 22, BYU, West Virginia. Notre Dame, Pitt. South Florida, North Texas. Drake, Indiana State on ESPN2. That's a great game. CBS Sports Network, Towson, Hofstra. Columbia, Dartmouth, Princeton, Brown. The game of the night in college basketball, 6:30, ESPN. Number 7, Duke. Number 3, North Carolina. My line projections, Carolina 3.4, and it's 4.5. I think this is going to be a great game. I'm so excited for it. This is the best Duke Carolina game in a while. Obviously, Duke Carolina was irrelevant last year because Carolina stunk. But this is the biggest Duke Carolina game since the Final Four, in my opinion. So, should be a lot of fun. 7 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Oregon State, USC. San Diego, Santa Clara. Penn, Yale, Cornell, Harvard. 7:45 on CW, Syracuse, Wake. 8 o'clock, ESPN2, number 12, Iowa State, number 18, Baylor. ACC Network, Florida State, Louisville. CBS Sports Network, Wyoming, UNLV. Pepperdine, Portland. ESPNU, Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky. 8:30 ESPN, number 5, Tennessee, number 10, Kentucky. SEC Network, Mississippi State at number 24, Alabama. 9 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Washington State, Washington. 9:30 Fox Sports 1, Xavier, DePaul. 10 o'clock ESPN 2, Oregon, UCLA. CBS Sports Network, Colorado State, Fresno State. Pacific, San Francisco. And then 10:30 on ESPN, St. Mary's, Gonzaga. So ESPN, loaded slate on Saturday. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock, CBS, number 2, Purdue, number 6, Wisconsin. CBS Sports Network, Davidson, Loyola, Chicago. Ryder, Iona, Mountain Mary, Siena, St. Peter's, Marist, Manhattan, Fairfield, Canisius, Quinnipiac. 2 o'clock, ESPNU, UNC Greensboro, Furman. And then those last, those MAC games I brought up, only Ryder, Iona's a 1 o'clock game. The rest of them are 2. Youngstown State, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Wright State, Northern Kentucky. 3 o'clock, IPI, Milwaukee. ESPNU, 4, Temple, Tulane. 5 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, South Dakota State. 6 o'clock, ESPN 2, UAB, SMU. 6 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Providence, Villanova. From Wells Fargo Center. 6:30, Big Ten, Nebraska, number 14, Illinois. And 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, Stanford, number 11, Arizona. All right, now move on to the NBA. We will recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. So there's only 4 games last night. Lakers over the Celtics, 114-105. Terrible loss for Boston, losing to the Lakers without LeBron and AD. LeBron left in the second half because of an injury. But yeah, that's a terrible, terrible loss for the Celtics. Probably the... Oh no, LeBron didn't play at all. For some reason, I thought he left in the second half. But let's face it, the reason why those guys sad is because they want to play against the Knicks. They're not sitting against the Knicks. No way. Cavs over the Grizzlies, 108-101. Knicks over the Pacers, 109-105. And the Sixers over the Jazz, 127-124. All right, 7 o'clock, Clippers, Pistons. My line is Clippers 9.25, and it is 12-38.5. I'm taking the Pistons plus the 12. Heat Wiz. My line is the Heat 4.75, and it's 8-228. I like the Wiz getting the points. Maybe Miami's peeking ahead a little bit. 7:30 Suns Hawks. My line's the Suns by 3/4. It's 3.5, 249. I'll take the Hawks and the points. Kings Pacers. So Sabonis back in Indy. Kings 2.25. Or I'm sorry, Pacers 2.25. Why is Sacramento favored? Is Halliburton not playing? Is Tyrese Halliburton out? Why is Sacramento favored? Like, Halliburton must be out. Sacramento should not be favored in this game unless if Tyrese Halliburton's out. Let's see. Because why is Sacramento favored? Questionable, okay, and so is Miles Turner. But anyway, I'm going to take the Pacers getting the 4 and plus 144 outright. Pacers are upsetting the Kings if Tyrese plays. Raptors, Rockets. My line's the Rockets 4.5. And that's what it is in 232.5. I like the under. NBA TV, Warriors, Grizzlies. My line is the Warriors by 1. It's 8.5, 224. Oh, the nepotism with the Warriors with the Vegas books is insane. I know Ja is out. And I know Desmond Bane's out. But the Warriors are not that good. Give me the Grizzlies getting the points. Magic T-Wolves. My one's Minnesota by 7. 6.5, 213. I love the over. That's low. Hornets, Thunder. My line is the Thunder by 13. And it's 15.5 at 225. I like the Hornets getting the points. No Jalen Williams. And that line's high. Pelicans, Spurs. My line is the Pelicans 5.5. 8.5, 233.5. I'll take San Antonio to cover. And last but not least, 9 o'clock, Blazers, Nuggets. My line is Denver 12.75. But without Jokic and Murray, potentially, that will be 1.75. Without Jokic, 5.75. And just without Murray, 8.75. And the line is 12.5. Total 219. I like the over, but if neither of those guys play, Portland plus 12.5 is worth taking. So the line's trying to tell you that both guys are playing. All right, Saturday, 6 o'clock, Nets, Sixers. 7:30, Warriors, Hawks. 8 o'clock, Kings, Bulls. 8:30, Bucks, Mavs. Cavs, Spurs. And on ABC, Saturday primetime, Lakers, Knicks. From the Garden. Stars abound. Going to be at the game. This is the biggest game for the Knicks in years, and they have to win. No excuses. LeBron and Anthony Davis better freaking play in this game, or else this win is going to be 0 for the Knicks. They need to beat them with both guys. I know they did it earlier in the year in LA with both guys healthy. Do it again. Do it at home. Go for 10 in a row. It would be terrible if they lost to the Lakers at home. Unless if there's more injuries. But it's unfortunate that Randall's hurt, but the Knicks got to get it done. The Knicks fan in me obviously can't stand the Lakers. So the Knicks fan in me obviously wants the Knicks to win. And then their own voice is calling the game on ABC. This is a big game for Mike Breen, too. Let alone the Knicks. So, should be fun. I think it's a must-win for the Knicks. A prove-it game on Saturday primetime. They lose in primetime to the Lakers with both guys. Then it's like, oh, maybe they're not this great team. But yeah, big litmus test coming up for the Knicks against the team that made the Western Final last year. And then Sunday, 3 o'clock, Magic, Pistons, 3:30 NBA TV, Suns, Wizards, 6 o'clock. Grizzlies, Celtics, Pacers, Hornets, ESPN, Clippers, Heat. 7 o'clock, Rockets, T-Wolves, Raptors, Thunder. 8 o'clock, Bucks, Jazz, and 8:30 NBA TV, Blazers, Nuggets again. So there you have it for the NBA for the week. We're going to go over the soccer results from yesterday and look ahead to today's. We'll start with the Liga. Real Madrid over Getafe 2-0. And then today, 3 o'clock, you have Athletic and Mallorca. Just going to pull that up really quickly. Athletic minus 210, Mallorca plus 600, the draws plus 280. For this one, I am going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 116. Saturday, 8 o'clock, Valencia, Almeria, 10:15, Granada, Las Palmas, 12:30, Alves, Barcelona, 3 o'clock, Girona, Real Sociedad. Sunday, 8 a.m., Villarreal, Cadiz, 10:15, Osasuna, Celta Vigo, 12:30, Betis, Getafe, 3 o'clock, Real Madrid, and Atletico. We had a friendly today, Al Nassr over Miami, 6-0. They killed Messi in Miami. And at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, we have Leifering and Dulca Pragu. Then Sunday at 3 a.m., Miami again, as they play Hong Kong Lei. Excuse me. EPL. Yesterday's results, West Ham, Bournemouth, 1-1 draw. Man United over Wolves, 4-3. Saturday, 7:30, Everton, Tottenham. 10 o'clock, Brighton for Crystal Palace. Burnley, Fulham, Newcastle, Luton, and 12:30, Sheffield United, Aston Villa. Sunday, 9 a.m., Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Wolves, Man United, West Ham, and 11:30, Arsenal, Liverpool. Liga MX. Results from yesterday: Pachuca over Alas 4-3, and the Cox 2 to draw. They meant to say Wednesday. And then tonight's games: 8 o'clock, Querétaro and Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul plus 120, Querétaro plus 220, draw plus 220. I'm going Cruz Azul on the road plus 120. And 10 p.m., Puebla Mazatlan. Puebla minus 115, Mazatlan plus 270, draw plus 280. I'm going Puebla minus 115. Saturday, 6 p.m., Toluca Leon. Draws Necaxa, 8 o'clock, Pachuca Tijuana. Tigres Unam, and 10 o'clock, Almeria Monterrey. Sunday, 7 p.m., at Los Santos, and 8 o'clock, Athletic San Luis and Guadalajara. All right, Bundesliga, 2:30 have Heidenheim and Dortmund. Dortmund minus 145, Heidenheim 3-1, the draws plus 320. For this one, I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 104. Saturday, you have 9:30 a.m. Bayern Gladbach, Mainz Bremen, Freiburg Stuttgart, Darmstadt Leverkusen, Bochum Augsburg at 12:30, Cologne and Frankfurt. Sunday, 9:30 Wolfsburg Hoffenheim at 11:30, RB Leipzig and Union Berlin. Serie A. Today, 2:45, you have Lecce and Fiorentina. Fiorentina plus 110, Lecce plus 260, draw plus 220. We got Fiorentina on the road at plus 110. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., Empoli Genoa, Udinese Monza, 12 o'clock, Frosinone Milan, and 2:45, Bologna Sassuolo. Sunday, 6:30, Torino Salernitana, 9 o'clock, Napoli Verona, 12 o'clock, Atalanta Lazio, and 2:45, Inter Milan and Juventus. League 1, 3 o'clock, Strasbourg and PSG. PSG minus 210, Strasbourg 5-1, the draws plus 340. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 152. Saturday, 11 a.m., Rennes Montpellier, and 3 o'clock, Nantes Lens. Sunday, 7 a.m., Monaco Le Havre AC, 9 o'clock, Lille Clermont Foot, Metz Lorient, Reims Toulouse, 11 o'clock, Brest Nice, and 2:45, Lyon and Marseille. ELC. Today at 3 o'clock, Bristol City and Leeds. Leeds minus 155, Bristol 4-1, the draws plus 280. I'm going over 2.5 goals, minus 108. Saturday, 10 a.m., Blackburn QPR, Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, Hull Millwall, Norwich City, Coventry, Preston Ipswich, Rotherham, Southampton, Stoke, Leicester, Swansea, Plymouth, Watford, Cardiff, and West Brom, Birmingham. And Sunday, 7 a.m., Borough and Sunderland. Scottish Premiership. Saturday, 7:30, Aberdeen Celtic, 10 o'clock, Dundee Hearts, Hibernian St. Mirren, Motherwell Kilmarnock, Rangers Livingston, and Ross County St. Johnstone. Dutch Eredivisie. Saturday, 2 o'clock, Almere City and Excelsior. Almere City minus 105, Excelsior plus 250, draw plus 240. I'm going to go with Almere City at minus 105. Saturday, 10:30, FC 20 and RKC Waldwick. 12:45, Fortuna Heerenveen. 2 o'clock, Ajax PSV. And 3 o'clock, NEC Heracles. And then Sunday, 6:15, Vitesse Go Ahead Eagles. 8:30, AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord. FC Utrecht and FC Volendam. And 10:45, Sparta and PEC Zwolle. We also have the African next round of that tournament. So today at noon you have Nigeria and Angola. Nigeria minus 165, Angola plus 550, draw plus 320. I'm going over 2.5 goals at plus 138. And then at 3 o'clock, DR, Congo, and Guinea. Congo plus 140, Guinea plus 230, draw plus 170. I'm going DR Congo plus 140. Then Saturday at noon, Mali and Ivory Coast. Coast plus 120, Mali plus 240, draw plus 185. I'm going with Ivory Coast plus 120. At 3 o'clock Saturday, Cape Verde, South Africa. Cape Verde plus 170, South Africa plus 180, draw plus 170. I like the draw at plus 170. In the AFC Asian Cup, coming up this morning, you have Tajikistan and Jordan. Jordan is even money. Tajikistan is 3-1. The draw's plus 190. Ooh. This is an emotional spot, obviously, with all that's going on in Jordan. I'm going to take them at even money. You know they're going to play their hearts out. And then at 10:30, Australia, South Korea. South Korea plus 15, Australia plus 240. The draw's 2-1. I'm going to South Korea plus 115. And then Saturday morning at 6:30, Iran, Japan. Japan minus 165, Iran plus 320, draw plus 230. I'm going over 2.5 goals plus 126. And then Saturday, 10:30, Qatar and Uzbekistan. Qatar plus 150, Uzbekistan plus 185, draw plus 190, and going Qatar at plus 150. So, there you have it for soccer. That was a lot, I know. Now we'll move on to golf. We'll look at the current leaderboard for AT&T Pebble Beach Pro AM. Your leader right now with the score of 9 under is Thomas Dietrich. Second with 8 under, Patrick Cantlay. Third with 7 under is Matthew Pavon. Tied for fourth with 6 under, Emiliano Grillo, Siamu Kim. Tied for sixth with 5 under, Ricky Fowler and Colin Morikawa. Tied for eighth with 4 under, Ludwig Gaber, Garrett Cole, Sam Burns, Dylan McCarthy, Justin Rose, Justin Thomas. Tied for 14th with 3 under. Taylor Montgomery, Christian Ziedenhout, Tommy Fleetwood, Kurt Katayama, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Seb Straka, Max Homa, Mark Hubbard, Evan Van Rooyen, Matt Kuchar, Matt Fitzpatrick, Jason Day, Bayo Hostler, and Peter Maloney. Tied for 29th with 2 under, Brendan Todd, Lucas Andres, Heath Iglesias, S.H. Kim, J.T. Poppins, Cam Davis, Adam Sutton, Taylor Moore, Corey Connors, and Keith Bradley. Tied for 39th with 1 under, Rory McIlroy, Cam Young, Sam Ryder, Christian Kirk, Tom Kim, Nate Taylor, Davis Riley, Nate Hardy, Taylor Hogue, Alex Ryan being on. Tied for 50th at even, Adam Putnam, Ryan Henley, Sanjay M, Brian Harmon, Matt McBilly, CAU, Adam Scott, Luke Liv, Seamus Power, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, and Wyndham Clark. Now notables tied for 62nd with 1 over. Wyndham Clark, Grayson Murray, Adam Hadwin. Clarkson 50th at even. So Murray Hadwin, Stefan Yeager, Alex Smalley, Webb Simpson, Lucas Glover, Xander Schauffele, JJ Spawn. Tied for 71st with 2 over. Nicholas Hojard, Keith Mitchell, Adam Schenk, Ben Griffin. Tied for 75th with 3 over. Hideki Matsuyama and Harry English. Tied for 77th with 4 over. Mackenzie Hughes, Hayden Buckley, Patrick Rogers. So there you have it for golf. Now we'll move on to NASCAR. The first time talking about NASCAR this year on the podcast. So this weekend is the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, 8 o'clock Sunday night on Fox from LA Memorial Coliseum. Last season, I gave out Martin Truex Jr. on this podcast for this race, and he won. So, I'm going to look at the odds on DraftKings, and I'm going to pick the winner. So, there's a lot of good ones on the board. I think there's going to be a lot of motivated drivers. I think that this is a race that there's like no pressure. And the driver that I'm going to pick to win this race, I'll go Chase Elliott at 14-1 to win the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. All right, now we're going to talk about the NFL Pro Bowl and the events. So, yesterday there were actually some events. Persistent passing, best catch, closest to the pin, high stakes, dodgeball, and kick-tack-toe. And then on Sunday, you have the Madden NFL head-to-head, where 2 players from each conference will play Madden 2024 video game while using the official Pro Bowl rosters. And this is the event's debut. Gridiron Gauntlet. 6 players from each conference will compete in a relay race through an obstacle course. Tug of War, played by 5 players from each conference. That is the debut. Move the Chains, a race between or competed by teams of 5 players from each conference. They must first move 300 pounds of weight off of a ball and then put that 2,000-pound wall against the finish line. Across the finish line. And then 3 games of flag football, 7-on-7. And this is going to be taking place at Nicholson Fieldhouse in Orlando and then Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Scott Van Pelt play-by-play, Dan Orlovsky, the color, and Marcus Spears, Ryan Clark, and Michelle Beasner-Buck for your sideline reporters. So that's interesting. Just looking at the rosters, I think both rosters are talented. But don't forget, players on the 49ers and the Chiefs will not play. So you won't see Patrick Mahomes. You won't see Brock Purdy. You won't see Christian McCaffrey. You won't see Kyle Juszczyk. You won't see Deebo Samuel. You won't see Travis Kelce. So, just from looking at the rosters, I like the NFC's roster a little bit better. Because a lot of the AFC guys are either injured or opted not to play. So I'm going to say the NFC wins closely in the Pro Bowl. I like the NFC squad a little bit better than the AFC. And the game, I think it's going to be like 41-38 NFC. All right, the NHL All-Star Weekend is this weekend. So, It will all begin tonight. Well, we have the skills competition. Fastest skater, one-timers, passing challenge, hardest shot, stick handling, accuracy shooting, one-on-one. And you have a bunch of big-name players in that as well. And then we have the All-Star game. There's a lot of injury replacements on there as well. And that will be on ABC. I believe it's a night game. Or no, it's during the day. It's like 3 o'clock on ABC because the Lakers-Knicks follows it. So ABC gets the All-Star game. And I don't know if they go by the divisions anymore. Because each team selections have the 3-on-3 matchups. So we have Team Matthews, which is Austin Matthews, Morgan Riley, celebrity captain Justin Bieber, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, Clayton Keller, Matt Barzal, Philip Forsberg, Alex DeBrincat, Vincent Trocheck, Jake Ottinger, Igor Shesterkin. And then Team McDavid. The celebrity captain is Will Arnett. And then you have McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Connor Hellebuck, David Pastrnak, Rasmus Dahlin, Robert Thomas, Sam Reinhart, Sergei Bobrovsky, Boone Jenner, Nick Suzuki, Thomas Hertl. Team McKinnon, celebrity captain is Tate McRae. And they have McKinnon, Cale Makar, Sidney Crosby, Alexander Georgiev, Kirill Kaprizov, Sebastian Aho, Tom Wilson, Jeremy Swayman, Travis Kelce, Elias Lindholm, and Oliver Bjorkstrand. And then Team Hughes. So, Jack Hughes is the captain, but unable to play, will still participate in selecting players in the draft. Celebrity captain is Michael Bublé. And then on his team, Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, Nikita Kucherov, Tatar Demko, Kyle Connor, Brady Tkachuk, Jesper Bratt, Cam Talbot, Brock Besser, JT Miller, and Frank Vetrano. So, all these teams are pretty talented. I think Jack Hughes is a huge loss for that team. I gotta be honest, the team I like the most is probably, and might sound biased a little bit, but Team Matthews, I think, is the best team. I think Team Matthews wins the All-Star game. And I'm going to say your All-Star game MVP will indeed be Austin Matthews. So Team Matthews wins. And Austin Matthews wins the MVP of the All-Star game. And now we're going to talk about the Grammys, which will be taking place Sunday night, 8 o'clock on CBS. Should be a lot of fun. So, main ceremony performers: Billie Eilish, Billy Joel, Burna Boy with 21 Savage and Brandy, Dua Lipa, Joni Mitchell and Brandy Carlisle, Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman. Oh, we know what they're singing there. Olivia Rodrigo, SZA, Travis Scott, and U2. And I think I know what Billy Joel's singing. He has a new song. So he'll probably perform that, plus maybe Piano Man or something like that. But we'll get back to the performers in a little bit. Presenters. And in the main ceremony. Meryl Streep, Lenny Kravitz, Mark Ronson, Christina Aguilera, Maluma, Samara Joy, Lionel Richie, Oprah Winfrey, and Taylor Tomlinson. All right, the nominees, the big ones. Record of the Year. Worship by John Batiste. Not Strong Enough by Boy Genesis. Flowers by Miley Cyrus. What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish. Oh My Mama by Victoria Monet. Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. Kill Bill SZA. I think it's obvious who's winning this. All due respect to Flowers. Anti-Hero is going to win this, and it's going to be a runaway. Every awards show now on, it feels like it's the Taylor Swift ceremony, because Taylor Swift wins everything. She's the best of this generation, and she's the biggest star we've had since Michael Jackson. Throw Travis Kelce aside. She deserves these awards, and she's amazing. But I personally think Flowers is a great song. That would be a big win for Miley if she gets it with that song, but Anti-Hero is going to win that, and I'd be surprised if it's not Anti-Hero. Album of the Year. World Music Radio. John Batiste. The Record by Genius. Endless Summer Vacation, Miley Cyrus. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Lana Del Rey. Days of Pleasure, Janelle Monáe. Guts, Olivia Rodrigo. Midnights, Taylor Swift. SOS, SDA. Midnights, come on. Come on. Song of the Year. ASW, Jack Antonoff, Lana Del Rey, and Sam Dew. Anti-Hero, Taylor Swift. Butterfly, John Batiste. Dance the Night, Dua Lipa. Flowers, Miley Cyrus. Kill Bill, SZA. Vampire, Olivia Rodrigo. And What I Was Made For, Billie Eilish. Come on, it's going to be Anti-Hero. Best New Artist. Gracie Abrams, Fred Again, Ice Spice, Jelly Roll, Coco Jones, Noah Kahane, Victoria Monet, and The War and the Treaty. Jelly Roll's going to win that. So those are the big ones, obviously, that we have to hit for the general field. We really don't have to get into the rest. But I just think Taylor Swift is going to come away a big winner like she does each and every year at every big award ceremony. It's the Taylor Swift Invitational. It's the Grammys, the VMAs, and the American Music Awards have all become the Taylor Swift Invitational until further notice. And deservingly so. Now I'll move on to the news and notes. We have to start news and notes with the big trade in Major League Baseball. Corbin Burns is traded from the Brewers to the Orioles for Joey Ortiz, shortstop prospect, Teal Hall, left-handed pitcher prospect, and the 34th pick in the 2024 draft. I love it for Baltimore. I absolutely love it. They needed an ace at the top of that rotation, and they got one. To me, this puts them right back in the front runners for the AL East, as I thought the Yankees probably had that until this move. I don't think that's a lot for Corbin Burns. I don't like when Milwaukee got back. They could have done better than that. Yeah, so I hate it for Milwaukee, but I love it for the Orioles. Like, DL Hall might be good. He's not going to be Corbin Burns. Come on. We'll see how good Joey Ortiz is, and in that pick could end up being a good pick, but I don't like this deal from Milwaukee. They could have done a lot better than this. So, the 76ers were fined for Embiid's absence, as they were fined for violating league injury reporting rules. The same for the Pelicans. So, it turns out Embiid's really hurt. I thought the Sixers were potentially just sitting him to rest him. It turns out he's actually hurt because he has a torn meniscus. And that is going to cost him a chance to repeat for MVP. A bizarre NBA trade, Steven Adams dealt to the Rockets for Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks. I don't like that for either side. I think Steven Adams is washed, personally. The Warriors unlikely to deal big names if they have no interest in doing so. That's not surprising. In monster news in F1, Lewis Hamilton will join Ferrari in 2025. So that's a big deal for F1. And now all the coaching vacancies have been filled in the NFL as the Commanders hired Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was not a good coach in Atlanta, with the exception of the 1 year where they made the fluke Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, but he did a good job with the Cowboy defense, with the exception of that playoff game. And we'll see if the second time's a charm. Mark Andrews helped a woman on a plane as he was credited with assisting passenger during mid-flight medical emergency. Wow. Then it was reported that the Commanders spoke to Bill Belichick as Bill had support from decision makers before Dan Quinn got the job. Ooh. It's going to be interesting where Bill goes. It's going to be the talking point all year. The Titans hire new defensive coordinator as they're bringing in Denard Wilson, the Ravens defensive backs coach. As he'll join Brian Callahan's staff. The NBA All-Star reserves are out. We will start with the East. As it's Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle. Randle's obviously not going to play because he's hurt. Names I can see replacing him, Trae Young. Some others. Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis does make sense. Derek White. Miles Turner. And then the West reserves. Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Karl Anthony Towns. So that sounds accurate. Just about right. You could argue Gobert over Towns, but Towns is probably still a better player. Or a more fun player than Gobert. So there you have it. The All-Stars are out, and we'll see who ends up replacing Julius Randle. The two snubs that stood out were Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Jalen Brunson accepts invite for the three-point contest. That's pretty cool. WNBA free agency. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 2-year deal with Seattle, so the Storm are remaking their team. Natasha Cloud leaving the Mystics for Phoenix, so that's a big deal. The Ravens hire an offensive coordinator, and they bring in former Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury. I like that hire for them. Antonio Pierce and Cliff Kingsbury, who was a coach in the league and wasn't a horrible coach in the NFL. Probably better suited as a coordinator. Jahan Dotson calls out Micah Parsons' old quote about following Dan Quinn. Huh. Marlon Humphrey shades Bill Belichick as he sounds off on Bill not getting a job. Wow. Tyrese Maxey came back last night against the Jazz. That's a big deal for Philly. Isaiah Stewart out for 10 to 14 days with an ankle sprain. Not great for Detroit. And Julius Randle's only going to be out 2 to 3 weeks with a dislocated shoulder and will be reevaluated. So that's a big deal for the Knicks. That injury's not as bad as we thought it was going to be, so that's good for them. All right, so there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Best bet's hard for today. It really is. There's a couple that jumped out, especially in the NBA. So I'm going to lay 1/10 of a unit on I think the Pacers would be risky. I'm going to go with another risk. Take the Grizzlies. Plus 8.5 against Golden State. I just think that's too high. And I think the Warriors get nepotism because of Stephen Curry and washed up Draymond and washed up Clay. So give me Memphis plus 8.5 against the Warriors. Memphis won't win outright. They'll just cover. And there you have it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything. Look at everything on Monday as well. Have a great weekend, everyone.